Welcome to Let's Get Metaphysical, the show that stretches you beyond your five senses. When you are looking for your next step on the path into the unseen, we've got you covered. Join epic adventure seekers and level up your game with your host, reality magician Bierman.
You're not who you think you are. And you are definitely not who other people think you are. Well, then who are you in this world? Hi, I'm Bierman. And quite a few years ago, I shared a song called We Put People in the Boxes, and they do the same to us. And what do I mean by that? We define somebody by our expectations, our observations, our interpretations of how others behave and how others appear in the world according to our interpretation. What I didn't realize until today was we put ourselves in the boxes and we live very limited life experiences because we've created these expectations. We've created these personality patterns ourselves, reinforcing what other people thrust upon us. Well, I guess that's a good word because it happens from the time you're a little baby and your parents are telling you who you are and how you behave and what's right for you to do and what's right for you to think and what's right for you to interpret to make your world look the way they want your world to look. Who are you really? Well, who you are is a divine spirit living a human experience. But the divine spirit, who you are, is eternal, has always existed, always will exist. And right now, you're in a particular body, in a particular lifetime. You can think of it as your current vehicle for getting from point A to point B, so you can have certain experiences. You go back and people talk about reincarnation. I don't think reincarnation is about being the same person lifetime to lifetime. Look at all the talents you have. Look at all the things that you love, that you enjoy doing. And that can lead you to recognize what kind of lifetimes you've had in the past. Just to throw something out there so you know it's not something bopping around inside me. The Buddha said, was purported to have said, that he lived 500 lifetimes before. He knew he was the Buddha before he sat under the Bodhi tree, before he started imparting his wisdom and his view of life in the world. Now, I know because I've seen glimpses of past lives that, oh yeah, that's why I love Chinese art and Chinese food. And I'm really good at creating. Well, I haven't gotten to the art yet, but definitely the cuisine. That's why I used to be a Francophile. My whole library was books, novels, plays in French. And everything I was cooking, I was flaming because I loved everything French. Well, and then when I read a book and I opened it and it was in Middle French, I understood it. I read it instantly because I also saw myself having a lifetime in France of the Middle Ages. Every talent, everything that I love in my life, I have seen. Just glimpses, but I've seen myself living in those lifetimes. And maybe now that I'm throwing that thought out to you, you'll start seeing, or even if you're not actually seeing, maybe you'll start feeling into previous lifetimes, into previous existences that you lived. Here's the thing though, people are telling you who you are and who you can be. And you take all this in because, well, when you're a little kid, they're older and you don't remember that you came into the world all happy and open and excited because things get showered down upon you and you hear them and you get limited and you get put into boxes. So, of course, you're going to do the same thing to other people because it's a way of life you've always No. What can you do to discover who you are in this lifetime, in this world? What kind of thoughts are running your world? Because this is all happening outside of your awareness. And 95% of those thoughts that you're nourishing with emotions and feeding out to the universe, 95% of them are happening in your subconscious mind. And that's why people tell you your subconscious mind runs you. Because frankly, that is what happens until you choose to awaken to what thoughts you're allowing into, what thoughts you're focusing in on. One way that you can discover what those thought patterns are, where you're going in your life, what's your focus, what's your emotional limitation. If you use a phone and you send texts, just scroll through some of the texts that you send to your good friends, to your close friends. Look for the themes, look for the voice, look for where you're coming from. It will be abundantly clear. The other thing to look at is the posts. If you're on social media, read some of the posts, some that you post, some that you share, some that you comment on. What kind of thoughts, emotions are you experiencing that you can see real clearly in your words? Look for the patterns. If you're feeling stuck, now's the time to really look at your text, to really look at what movies do you choose? What books do you read? What do you choose to focus on in social media? Who are you following and why? Because only you can discover who you are, and only you can change the direction that you have been living, because you've always been living that direction in your life. Which reminds me, if you haven't done so already, go into the show notes and click the link to get step in a new direction. Because the only way your life changes is when you choose to stop doing the same pattern and stop walking the same line you've always walked, step in a new direction. Now, what I've recognized quite abundantly in my life is I've been spending, it's almost 12 years now, time focusing on the nerve damage that happened that limited what I can do and feel and think in my life. And I've been talking about how I work hard behind the scenes to appear normal to you. Do you think it's going to stop if I keep talking about that? Yeah, okay, thrive, don't just survive. But I can live that way without having to go back and say, well, just because all those limitations are happening doesn't mean I'm stuck there. Because here's something very interesting that gives me a fact I can work on for my own healing. I study with the most amazing people in the world, and one of the great geniuses was Carl Ferrari. Carl Ferrari created neural organization technique, but he didn't just do that. He was a gifted, highly spiritual energy worker. And frankly, I credit him with returning my ability to have normal hearing instead of hearing things a block away, to be able to see clearly with my vision working again, because everything was distorted. He even put arches in my feet so I could walk normally instead of flat-footed. I could go on and on with all the things he did for people. But the main thing that I want to share with you today is in one of the classes where I was studying with him, a young woman came in. She had been paralyzed on one side for 10 years. So she came in a wheelchair with her arm in a sling. And the first thing he did with her was he tested her body. We do everything with muscle testing, because if you're going to depend on your conscious mind, forget it. You're not going to be able to make changes. First thing he did was ask her the day that the stroke happened. She told him the day, and he instructed her body that right now was the day before the stroke happened. He then went through, tested her body all of her muscles, including everything that was paralyzed when she came in the door, worked perfectly. As he explained it, the muscle memory was still there. So what does that tell me? I don't know the exact date, but I sure do know the range of dates when the injury happened that caused the tumor to grow in my brainstem. I know exactly when that happened because this injury happened at exactly the place where the tumor grew. I know I can go back, I can work on myself, and I can tell myself it's a certain date, and I know what date that is, to go back and test my body and work from there. I don't have to remain limited all my life. You don't have to remain limited all your life, and you don't have to go back and have a dramatic situation happen. All you have to do is choose to run your head differently. What I choose is to stop noticing limitations in my functioning, to stop sorting for what's wrong, limitations in my functioning, what's missing, limitations in my functioning, by choosing to stop that. And I do that by catching myself. Heck, I've been doing it for 72 years. And I catch myself and I stop myself when I go there. Because, man, when I go to what's wrong and what's missing, I immediately go to my past. Going in your past will never serve you. Never. Your past isn't real. It doesn't even exist. Your interpretation of what happened, which you made up, that's your past. So stop going into your past. Same thing with your future. That's all made up. I thank you so much for joining me here today. Again, I'm Ellie Bierman, and you're joining us today for Let's Get Metaphysical, Connecting Heart and Mind. Remember to take advantage of the very special offer from Audible. Choose a book of your choice. Audiobook to download with your free 30-day trial. Go and explore. I have courses from them, podcasts you can't get anyplace else, magazines, and lots of audiobooks that my membership allows me to get as many as I want every month. You follow the link down below because that will take you, because you're here watching me, joining me here today, you get that special deal with that free trial. And I'm going to recommend a book that will be very easy for you to accept and digest. And you've seen it before, The Magic of Believing and TNT, It Rocks the Earth, because they're quick, they're easy, and you don't have to sit and think about it. It will just make sense to you. Remember to join our Facebook group, ask questions, make a new friend, see some of the extras in addition to what you're seeing right here in the main video, in the main episode. And you can always go to our website for the podcast. We have more than 130 episodes now. And you can choose to listen to or watch any one of them. So you can peruse them, find the topics that fit for you, and enjoy them at your own time. Because what I love about podcasts is they're evergreen. They're there for you always. And again, I'm going to remind you to step in a new direction. It's a very quick read, and just do it. Because nothing happens when you read and you study and you look at. When does change happen? When you take action. Motivated actions that you have put into your body, mind, spirit. I really appreciate your supporting us. And you can do that over at our Patreon link, where you're able to join me in a live video call where I can know who you are. You can ask me questions live, and we can find out some stuff that doesn't just pop up on the episodes. However, you can tell me what you'd like to see and what you'd like to learn more about all these invisible forces, because they are invisible. I can see energy, and you can learn to see energy, but whether or not you see it, it's still there, and it's guiding each moment of your life. And I appreciate your support, because it takes a lot to put on an episode every week. And also your support in sharing. Tell 2 of your friends about Let's Get Metaphysical, connecting heart and mind, because I guarantee at least 2 of your friends would like to know, why does their life look the way it does, day after day after day, even though they're wishing and hoping for something different. Remember to enjoy every moment, capital I-N, capital J-O-I, every moment, because your life doesn't happen outside of you. 0 happens outside of you. All your 5 senses happen because of what's interpreted different in here. I look forward to seeing you here next time.
You've been listening to a talk on the wilder side. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Get Metaphysical. Be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss a single episode, and while you're at it, please leave a rating and review, and be sure to share it with your friends. Tune in every Monday for more exciting insights and wisdom on life beyond your 5 senses. Until next time, take a small step in a new direction. Start now.